After sizing up the area with a glance, she tore across the tar-papered surface towards the far side of the building and threw herself into space, seeming to hang in the air before landing on the next roof and rolling to dampen the shock of her impact. She leapt to her feet and raced to the long-abandoned multi-story office buildings that rose above her, feeling with her hands for a window ledge. She climbed, pushing herself higher with her toes as her fingers found holes, her shoulder and arm muscles straining as she scaled the sheer building side. At the top, she swung her legs onto the third floor and then risked a look back. 2 figures were tearing across the roof towards her. They would be on her within 5 seconds, maybe 10, depending on whether they could climb the wall as quickly as she had. Jet sprinted for the far roof edge and peered down, where the nearest building was a story lower, across at least a 15-foot gap over another alley. She brushed perspiration out of her eyes, backed up, and then ran full speed at the expanse, hurtling out and down through the heavy air, again tucking and rolling as she hit the roof. 5 long strides, and she threw her body over the building's side, clutching a drain pipe and using it to scissor her legs sideways to one of the window apertures, the glass long gone from vandalism and the effects of the elements. With a final push, she drove her legs through and landed on the debris-strewn concrete floor, pausing in the rubble to get her bearings. 2 thumps sounded from above. They were getting closer, gaining on her. She spotted a stairwell and bolted to it, latching onto the iron railing with steel hands and throwing her torso into space, spinning in mid-air and catching the rail of the floor below. She pushed herself off and repeated the maneuver until she was on the ground level. Her gambit had gained her a few critical seconds. She heard the distinctive sound of soles slamming against the floor above at a dead run and took a few deep, calming breaths before she darted through the doorway and out onto the street. A once bustling common was deserted, eerily silent except for the sigh of the wind and her measured inhalations as she approached an outdoor stairway leading up to the 2nd and 3rd levels of an empty parking complex, all gray concrete and exposed steel beams marred by graffiti and neglect. She raced for the stairs and jumped, grasping the rim of the molded concrete handrail and pulling her body up, then took 4 running steps and dived for the 3rd-floor stairs, catching the edge with sure fingers before swinging her lower body onto the landing. Jet didn't wait to see how far behind her they were. Her legs burned from effort as she tore across the cavernous interior, barely pausing at the concrete half-wall before she vaulted over it, right leg extended in front of her like a ballerina. Her feet landed on the rough-textured rim that served as the exterior of the structure. Then, with a sidelong look, she clamped a hand on the top and swung in the air, suspended by one arm before allowing momentum to carry her down 1 story onto the 2nd-floor wall. She alighted with cat-like grace, then slipped to the unforgiving cement of the 2nd level and made for a gap 20 feet away. With a labored grunt, a body struck the ground behind her, deciding her next move.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.